Hey everyone, welcome back to Adulting with Micah. I am so excited to finally be able to sit down and to chat with you all today. As you can probably tell from the new environment, or probably hear from our new environment, we finally have been able to change our new studio. So expect a video that we have done to come your way about our tile renovation project. So a few new changes. Our lovely red couch, RIP, was shipped off yesterday. So we will be on the market for a new couch. But in the meantime, in between time, new studio setup, and you all will be with us along the journey of us trying to find a new couch. But anyhow, I'm just super excited to finally be able to sit down and to chat with you again, because it's been weeks. Your girl has been traveling, has been dealing with home renovations, and then also too trying to cook a little person. So I wanted to provide a end of pregnancy from the start of today up until delivery update for you all, because one, part of the inspiration of me wanting to start this channel was to document not only travel, home improvement projects, DIY projects, but also too the experience of being a new mom, and just something that I can look back on, many years from now. So I am at week 30, which is crazy right now, because we have, in a normal pregnancy, you have 40 weeks of being pregnant. So we're on the countdown. I wanted to share from my perspective sort of the things that I have been advised on, not only from my doctor, but also to some of the prenatal classes that I've been taking, and then just sort of words of wisdom from experienced parents on kind of what it is that you should be doing to kind of stay on track before you meet your new one. So week 30, I would say for the most part, I have been blessed enough to have a relatively low maintenance pregnancy. Aside from the first trimester where I was pretty tired and sleepy, I was still able to kind of move around. And then for your second trimester, I kind of had some car sickness for the most part, but nothing too crazy. So your girl was out traveling. She was out still going to, the gym, working out, seeing friends and things like that. And now that I am in my third trimester, I do need to start to slowly pull back and scale back, because one, time is a fleeting asset for me right now. And then two, I am starting to feel the symptoms of what it was that I was experiencing during my first trimester, which is just tiredness. And I'm here to tell you, it's not gonna go away. So I have to start to preserve my energy a lot more to mentally, physically, and emotionally prepare for this delivery that I have no idea how it's gonna go. So what has been happening thus far? So at week 28 in the pregnancy, right after we got back from Hawaii, I received a call from my doctor that the week prior, I think at week 27, I had to take my glucose exam, and pretty much you have to fast starting at like not 8 p.m., probably around midnight the day before. You go the next morning after having fast for 8 hours. So at 8 a.m., I had to take this drink that's really, really sugary. It kind of reminds me of like Kool-Aid as a kid. It wasn't terrible, but you have to drink it. And then I had to go to the doctor, and they had to draw my blood work. And so within that, I'm not a medical professional, so I'm just going to talk to you about my experience as the patient. They draw the blood work, and then it's supposed to tell you, I guess, how your body maybe potentially metabolizes sugar of some sort. But the purpose is to see whether or not you are at risk for what's called gestational diabetes. And so I took the test. and then went on to Hawaii. Now, mind you, in between my glucose exam and Hawaii, I went to Jamaica, stayed at all-inclusive, drank Virgin Bob Marley's. I went to Ocean City, Maryland with Asia. Thank you, sis. And then I also went to Martha's Vineyard where I love ice cream, so I'm eating ice cream. So good. I'm eating all the good foods. Pure gluttony. I cannot. You gotta eat.
Oh my Lord.
So I say this to provide context that over the course of the month of July, I was out and about drinking, eating, doing whatever it is I wanted to do because, hey, I'm in my second trimester. I got the energy. No one's going to tell me to sit down. So I'm going to do what I want to do and eat whatever I want. But this test happened pretty much, I would say, the first week of August. So I have now 31 days of pure gluttony in my system, you know? So I go take my test, and then when I was in Hawaii, I got a call from my doctor's office. Now, mind you, they never really call unless it's to confirm an appointment. And so when I got a human on the phone, I knew it wasn't good. And so pretty much the technician said, hey, Micah, your test came back abnormal. So we're gonna need you to do the 3-hour glucose fast. And I was like, no, not the 3-hour glucose fast. It was already a struggle fasting for that 1-hour exam. So then I was like, okay. She was like, yeah, because right now it looks like you may be at risk for gestational diabetes. And in that moment, I was like, wait, what? Like, I will go for walks, I try and work out, but I mean, on the food end, I definitely was doing what I wanted to do. So the following week, I ended up doing the glucose fast for 3 hours. So I started fasting around 9 p.m. And then I get to the doctor's office. And so you're there for 3 hours. They need to draw your blood when you first get there because they need a baseline report of where you are. Then you have to drink the drink again. And then after hour number 1, then they draw your blood again. And I'm saying this because they had to keep alternating arms. So hour number 1, they draw my blood. Mind you, you can't eat, you can't drink for the times that you're at the doctor's office because they have to monitor your blood hour by hour by hour. So by hour number 1, I was okay because again, I had that nice fruity, sugary drink. But between hour number 1 and 2, I could really start to feel like dizziness and just shakiness and just tiredness and fatigue. And you still couldn't eat or drink anything. And so I even remember at the third time that the phlebotomist had to draw my blood, I was like, this really hurts. And, you know, I can't have anything. She was like, I think you're starting to get dehydrated right now, but try and stay as focused as you can because unfortunately, if you pass out or if you vomit, we're gonna have to cancel your test results and we're gonna have to do this all over again. And that was just so terrifying because it's like, but I've been like starving since the day before and you keep poking and taking blood and I'm hungry, the baby's kicking and there's just nothing I can do. And I'll be honest, y'all, like in that moment of those like 3 hours of the fast, if I physically could, I would take my foot and kick my own butt, but I can't because, you know, the belly's in the way. But I felt like I did myself a disservice, and I felt even worse that I did my child a disservice because I think during this pregnancy, there's just so many things that are limited that you can't have. And so for me, like pre-pregnancy, I love sushi, I love red wine, I love sandwiches and deli meat, and the things that I love to sustain myself have been essentially taken. And so my way of trying to get control back, or a sense of control, is to, have my ice cream. I want to be able to eat my everything bagels with cream cheese and put like my little tomatoes on top and eat my red beans and rice, because even with being pregnant, like I have had food aversions a lot to just mostly like animal products. So like I'm not a fan of chicken. I'm not really a fan of seafood right now. So I mostly just want to eat kind of either vegetables, but vegetables with a carb. And unfortunately, and also I have a sweet tooth. So pastries have been really good to me, and sweets. So all of those things that I can have I thought were safe turned out to be not good for my pregnancy. So I'm sitting here during this glucose test, kind of going through it. And then finally, I made it to the last hour. Thankfully, I didn't pass out or faint, because I really thought I was going to be on the struggle bus of doing it. And so I waited about a week to get my test results back. And the doctor tells me at my next appointment, you know what? You don't have gestational diabetes, but you are at risk of it. So now, being at week 30 up until the end of my pregnancy, I now have to monitor my carb intake, my sugar intake, my water intake. Let me show you exactly what I mean by like water. So your girl drinks one of these every day now. At least she tries to. But this is just to help me stay hydrated. And that has been an adjustment, because I already have to always kind of sort of use the bathroom naturally. But this has been one intervention that has helped me. And then also too, just trying to make sure that I go and I cook more. We've had a lot of home renovations happening. So when I go to, my Starbucks, my Panera, I have to be more intentional about what it is I'm ordering. And then also too, not only from the physical piece, but also too from like the work aspect. So one of the things I did this week was I put in my paperwork with my employer for maternity leave. I had to call my health insurance to file a claim to prepare for the potential dates of when I'm going to go out on maternity leave so I can receive short-term disability. So those are things that you also have to think about in conjunction with not only just your physical piece, but also to if you have a job that provides maternity or paternity leave. So I worked on that this week, and that is at week 30. And what else has been going on? Oh, also too, trying to exercise. Today was the first day actually that I went back to the gym in almost 4 months, which is wild. Where before pre-pregnancy, I would be at the gym like 2 to 3 times a week. And to be honest, I've just been so tired and exhausted that I'm like, look, if I can go on a walk in my neighborhood, that's good enough. But it's been so hot where I live, where, it could be 85, 90, 95 degrees. And that's not good for me to be out in those conditions. So today was the first day that I went back to the gym. It was nice to be indoors with AC. I walked on the treadmill. I even started doing a little bit of arm weights and stuff like that, because I do want to start to build some strength, but I also have to monitor and make sure I don't overdo it. So everything is about balance. So I just wanted to sit down and provide a week 30 update in a nutshell. This is what's happening at week 30. Let's see next week what things happen for week 31. But I'm very excited to also, I want to share with you a bump update, okay? So you can see how little Pipsqueak is doing. Here we go, here we go, here we go. All righty, here we are. Again, we don't know who's inside. We chose not to know the gender, so we will find out in November who has been hanging out here. But so far, they are a very nice and quiet baby. It's until they're hungry is when I start to get the little, hey, send something down the pipeline. We're hungry. So they might take after me because I love food. But yeah, so far so good. Thanks again for hanging out with me. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. And I look forward to talking with you at our week 31 pregnancy update.